Welcome to Fresh Tech Tips. I'm Derrell Noris, CEO of Fresh Tech Solutions. Today I have a couple of my awesome business partners with me.
I'm Nicholas Mbaezue-Daniel, founder of Aegis Project Management LLC.
And I'm Dr. Doug Franklin, CEO and co-founder of Deck Launch LLC. How you fellas doing today?
I'm doing awesome, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good, man. It's good to be here. Another good week.
Another great week, another great week. So
That's a fact.
today's Fresh Tech Tip topic is CEOs that inspire us. So Nick, let's go and jump into one of these beautiful definitions. What do we mean by inspiration?
Yeah, inspiration is the process of being mentally stimulated to do or feel something, especially when you want to do something creative. Anybody who has ventured out into entrepreneurship, you're going to understand pretty quickly that you're going to have to create almost everything that you do, all your processes, what it is that you're doing. So it's a lot of creativity involved in it, and there could be a lot of roadblocks, and there's a lot of ambiguity. I can talk today. A lot of ambiguity with that process. So there is no roadmap. So in order to know what it is that you're supposed to do, the best way is to look at people who have done it, or people who are doing it, and draw things from them, either to motivate you or to give you or show you a path of how to get it done. And we love this episode so much. I think we're going to have fun with this episode. And before we get going, I want to do some honorable mentions because we're all picking only one. I know we have a lot of people that we could talk about. I definitely want to have, I just want to mention like first person who showed me entrepreneurship was my dad. And I didn't know until I started running with you guys how much what I was looking at every day growing up, what the challenges that he went through. And I want to shout you guys out as well because I've learned so much from you guys, and being next to you guys every day definitely inspires me. And there are a lot of others that we could talk about. One of our favorite clients, Maggie Jean, she is definitely inspirational to me as well. Her heart is so huge. So I mean, and many others. But we're gonna pick one each, and we're gonna show people why they're inspired, and hopefully it'll get them to thinking about who inspires them as well.
So, I think we should go ahead and jump right into yours, Nick. You kind of got the ball rolling, so let's go
All
let's
right,
let's
let's
go
do that.
ahead.
So mine, I'm gonna pick is Elon Musk. Elon Musk. A lot of people are people heard that name as the CEO of Tesla, and for some people, unfortunately, they're like, man, isn't that the guy who went on Joe Rogan's podcast and smoked and then lost like $200 on points on Tesla? Some people, that's all they know him for. Other people know him just for the car and now SpaceX. And so a lot of people remember that truck incident. The reason why I love Elon Musk so much, and he's been consistent throughout, even when Tesla stock were only 100 and now they're over 1,000 or 1,500. He specializes in the ridiculous. This is somebody who said when something's important enough, you don't even if the odds are not in your favor, you just go and do it. Like he doesn't care. He doesn't think about failure. He doesn't think about what the risk is. I'm sure he has other people think about that. He keeps his focus on the impossible and he goes after it. And you see that consistently in whatever it is he's doing. Like, if people remember that the truck that Tesla tried to release earlier, and he was saying that the glass would now be shattered by anything. And then he got on stage during the launch, and he's like, "Hey, you come on stage, throw this rock at the glass," and now it shattered. It definitely shattered. He fell miserably in front of everybody, and everybody was counting him. That only lasted for a couple of days. They reached their goals on the orders on that. Fast forward to like a year from now, he did something else ridiculous. Okay, we want to be the first private company to start going to space. Boom, he's done it. At every point when he tries to do something, it always sounds ridiculous. Here this guy goes again, but he doesn't listen to anybody who's a detractor. Says, what do we need to do to get it done? And he pushes everybody. He leads people to try and capture the ridiculous, and that is so amazing to me. That's so inspirational to me, and that's why it sticks with me. Just being able to be fearless like that, even with so much that's on the line. Definitely where I have to go with mine. I don't know what you guys think about that.
So Nick, it's funny how the risk manager has the most risky has
By far the
the
most
most
risky.
risky CEO.
That's who I want to be. I can't do it. Oh man, that's hilarious. Yeah. So,
So
Doug, what about you, man?
So I'm inspired by Jeannie Rometty, who recently just said that she's about to step down as the CEO of IBM. And the reason why I really so first I love her quote that says growth and comfort do not coexist. I think it's just a really brilliant thing, but also just the nature of what she had to do as a, as a woman CEO uh, who had to take IBM through some of the hardest times of business as they shifted from tech to cloud-based services and things of that nature. Just having to go through that and being put in a position all the time where she where basically it's tech is largely not ran by women. Is and we talk about it all. We talk about how we want diversity and inclusion in tech. That's something that we're really passionate about. So seeing someone who stands above like everybody and did like a pretty much a thankless job at times, basically dragging IBM back out of harm's way, is just really really awesome. Like, unfortunately, my CEO doesn't own any rockets, but
Yeah.
she's pretty meaningful too.
No, definitely, Doug. And that story reminds me a lot about about my journey into entrepreneurship. Definitely reminds me of Derrell's story because he talks about religiously about how he was comfortable and that was like I don't like this, and he deliberately stepped out of his comfort zone so that he could grow into the CEO that he is today. And I definitely experienced that a couple of years ago when I left the corporate world and started doing this with you guys full time. That was out of comfort zone. Trust me. If you don't believe me, my wife will tell you, how uncomfortable that was. But if you don't step out of your comfort zone, things don't change. You don't get the impetus to grow. So that's definitely something that's profound, man. I like that.
So who do we have next? Real.
so my pick was a hard one, but I'm going to go with the CEO of RMI Capital, Mr. Mark Davenport. Um,
Good pick.
Here, here.
he is my choice. He has a couple of things that he's made me live by. One of the main things that I always hear Mark say is that you're in business to make profit. And sometimes I need to hear that because there's there's a lot of things going on, but at the end of the day, you have to realize that you're in business to make profit. And so sometimes there's some other things, or there might be some challenges that come across where I'm trying to help people out or maybe give some kind of discount. No, the point, you have to always remember that the point of you being in business is to make profit. Another thing that I love hearing Mark talk about is this thing we call fact versus fiction. Um, but basically, it's pretty much saying whatever you say about yourself is fiction, and whatever the marketplace says about you is facts. So I can go around telling everybody I'm the best mobile app developer in the world, but I'm the only one saying it. So it's just me, in my opinion, and it doesn't mean anything because who am I? Now, if I have person A, person B, and person C, and I'm telling them, I mean, well, they're telling the marketplace about me, then that's a whole different viewpoint. It's a whole different story. So um, I, I get tagged a lot on Facebook for mobile app developments, and somebody writes a post, hey, the app developers, and I love when I get tagged by like 7 or 8 people in the same post, and I thank you guys for that. Keep doing that, please, because that's exactly what I'm talking about. When the marketplace says something about me, and I'm not talking about myself, then it's just that it's way more valid. So please keep on doing that. I try to do it as well. If I see somebody looking for a videographer, and I see somebody's already tagged my cousin 3 times, I'm still gonna go tag him again.
Yeah,
Jay Clark at Jay
he,
Clark. He's the best.
he
Like,
deserves it.
you
That's
have
a
to,
fact.
yeah. So yeah, fact versus fiction, man. That's Mark is so inspirational to me because I can actually touch him. I can actually, see him. We're talking about these great people, but he's actually, I can actually see him. He's a real life
Right.
person to me. He's my mentor. So um, having having that is a blessing for me. And that's one of the biggest inspirations for me because I'm seeing it. It's just not a thought. It's not a
All
person
right.
that's far away. I'm seeing it. So I'm just blessed to have somebody that's tangible.
So I completely 100% agree with that. In fact, I'll even add one more. Close the deal. Worry about the rest later. I think, and so blessed. And that's one of the things Derrell had introduced us to Mark. Well, I mean, Doug, that's his frat brother. So I didn't know Mark if not through these guys, and he's been a blessing. Even from the peripheral, with just the way that he carries himself, how succinct he is about things, just really ruthless. Because you have to be. Some of these things that you're talking about, that you're in business to make profit, that's a huge one. Because in the beginning of entrepreneurship, a lot of people, they feel guilty about being profit minded, about going after money. You think, I need to help people, and everybody has issues that they're going through. So I understand how it feels sometimes when you don't want to take money from them. You want to give them more leeway than you probably should. You got to remember you're in business to make profit, and if you don't think that way, you will stop existing. So whatever help that you want to give to people, whatever it is that you have to bring to them, you're not going to be able to do that if you don't remember the bottom line. And then the second quote you have, fact or fiction, and the first time you said that, it just completely changed my mind on everything that you're doing, because you spend a lot of time trying to figure out who you are, or how to sell yourself and whatnot. It reminds you that actually, no matter what you do to sell yourself, it's the marketplace that's actually going to validate that. So focus on the work, and value that above all else, and then everything else follows after that. So yeah, definitely Mark, and everything you said about him being tangible, just a huge figure in our journeys.
Yeah, I mean, and that's another thing that really inspires about Mark, is that when Mark has time for us, he makes time, and that is something that when you start to be, in a place where you're owning your business, and it can be scary, it can be daunting, but like anytime he's ever had a moment to spend time with us, he does. And that is just something that cannot be replaced at all. It's just, basically, your presence is a present, pretty much. I mean, that's really what he is. He's always been a gift to us. So thank you, Mark,
Yeah,
completely.
yeah, definitely, man. So it's been another interesting conversation with you fellas. Hearing about who inspires us. All my listeners out there, I really want y'all to be inspired, to find somebody who you can look up to, who's been there, done that, and study them, and take, if it's somebody successful out there that you've identified, study them. You try to get in contact with them if you can. But yeah, so like I said, we just want to push some inspiration out today. um Fellas, it's always a pleasure. I thank y'all again. All of our listeners, we thank you for every second of your time. We know your time is valuable, and we appreciate you so much. We was actually on time today, so y'all, I think we did good. We'll try to do that again next week. Next week at
Definitely.
12 o'clock. Please join the Facebook group, Fresh Tech Tips, and we will see you guys next Monday. Thanks for joining Fresh Tech. Fresh
Man bless.
Tech Tips.
Cheers.